And there's no course number, sorry. Okay, so let me double check here. Okay, so welcome to the fun side, Delphi and C++ Builder. How many of you use C++ Builder? Wow, a lot. How many of you use Delphi? Okay, how many of you use only C++ Builder? Okay. Okay, I have one demo in C++ Builder. Everything else is Delphi. So it is both, but I was trying to get more, but the idea was kind of, well, hitting me badly, so I got into some trouble with that. Anyway, first thing I want to say, if you have seen this talk in the past, which means about 5-6 years ago, the material is the same. I mean, I couldn't come up with new stuff between yesterday evening and this morning having another talk to you. So I've written a few lines of extra code, but it's very, very late. So it's just the classic fun side of Delphi. But as this was some years ago, I think that most of you actually were not there and have not seen it. So I thought, well, that's probably worth anyway. Okay, so this talk is about having some fun. Fun with programmers, with users, with the way we do things, and I mean, but one of the things that programmers find very interesting and challenging is to write very difficult code. So writing difficult code is part of the fun. Now, what happens is that programmers write very difficult code to obtain totally stupid things, which means they could have used much easier solutions. But like, for example, at times you have, I don't know, you have 2 or 3 text files, you have to copy some lines into another one, and instead of just doing the copy and paste, which takes 5 minutes, you write a program for it, because you are a programmer. And this takes half an hour before you get it right, and then you run it. Well, but we can improve it. Well, nice toolbar. Come on, I mean, but it happens. I mean, that's, so this is kind of the idea behind this talk. I mean, some of the things are, I mean, you obtain something very simple, but the code behind is very complex. And other cases, no, actually what you obtain is somewhat interesting. So the steps are, I'm going to cover some fun components, totally useless. So the title is useless components. But I'm going to show you the code. I'm going to cover some, I call nonsense development techniques, some cute programs, mine and from third parties, a couple of catastrophic plugins. Actually, the best one doesn't work. I'm really sorry. The new idea really gets into my way, and I haven't been able to make it work. I also have a couple of programs which do crash Windows, including one that's built with .NET, because .NET means safety. If you write a .NET program, there's nothing, I mean, .NET is safe. You know, that, well, almost. And but the only thing is that I'll keep those to the very last minute, because this Camtasia are running and doesn't like to get out of Windows resources and handles. So I'll stop it, and then we get the last part without Camtasia. That's the only way I could manage to record the session. Okay, well, think you know about me. Been to other presentations and things like that, so there isn't much I should add. That's actually quite important. If you go to www.marcocantu.com/funside, there are the demos of the last 3 editions I did, which again, there isn't much new here. So I'll upload this stuff as well, but you can get the traditional funside stuff from the site. It's been there for years. There is a nice web page describing a few things. There are links to third-party tools you can download. Yes? If it was, I don't know. Yeah, you're saying how do you assess the technical accuracy of the presentation in the evaluation form? I don't know.
Attention, this is a slide-free environment. PowerPoint slides can be used only outside the building. Open office slides allowed in specifically designated areas only.
Okay, so no more slides. That's good. Now we had a slide, but we have Delphi, so that's better than the slides. So, and I have notes because I've missed some of the stuff, so I have my notes to follow. So everything started, I think, with the first and best component ever written for Delphi by Nick Hodges, T-Smiley. I mean, if you haven't seen T-Smiley, it's somewhere on the web you'll get it. It's a smiley face. It's a smiley face, but it's a T component. I'm quite sure it was the first third-party component ever written, and it's still worth looking into. So that was kind of the starting point, and then David Diet once came, well, we should kind of have a contest, I mean, the most useless component, and I think I got something which is quite close to that. It's called T nothing. So the idea is you place this on the screen, and there is nothing. Now the trouble is, how do you know that there is nothing? You can use a hint. Turn the hints off. Remember, show hints true, otherwise you won't see anything. You run the program. Okay. You run the program. Oh, come on. Ooh. Sure. No, he's right. I'm running the package. As always, man. I keep doing it over and over. That's why it took some time to compile, because that package has some ugly code inside it. So you have the form, and sure, if you go right, there's nothing. Now you might want to look at the source code, because this is an informative talk. So this is nothing. It's actually, there are a couple of interesting things anyway. Here's from T-graphic control. You don't want nothing to have a handle. I mean, let's save the Windows handle. So it's a graphic control. Has an owner, default size and height. If you inherit from T-graphic control and provide no default, you get a 0 by 0 nothing, which is kind of hard to use. So it's created with a given height and width. And actually there is a, well, remember default values, constructor, this stuff, that's relevant stuff. And then you install it, the find side palette page, and well, it's called nothing. So that's all it takes to write a component in Delphi. I mean, Delphi is really very friendly environment for writing and consuming your own components compared to, I mean, other environments where writing components gets a little bit into your way. So that's the idea, and remember the parent class constructors and blah, blah, blah. So this is nothing. Now, let's get to something which, well, does something. But, okay, so I've actually got two. I'm not sure about the order. Let's go for the input button first. What is that? Okay, input com. Nothing to do with com. I mean, nothing to do with that stuff. So, okay, I should have actually shown the source code. Okay, let's say input button. Okay, so, oh, there's nothing behind the button. Notice, as it is a graphic control, it cannot get in front of the wing control. That's an important rule. So nothing remains behind. What's an input button? Well, I think the name tells it all. It's a button you can use for input. So you type. In the button. You know, that's, I mean, always those boring text boxes. So let's go for a button. Now, I mean, the code is not very complex. You have a T button inherits in a base class. You handle WM char. There is no key press, I don't think, actually. And so you handle it. Backspace, found 8, If it's a backspace, you delete the last character of the caption string. Otherwise, you just add it to the string. That's it. So you can handle a Windows message to change the behavior of any existing forms in Windows, and why not a button? Now, this is nice, and it's not really challenging because it's only a few lines of code. Now, this is challenging. And this is another input component, which is not really standard, which is an input label. Now, let's make this slightly bigger font so you can see it from the back. Let's go 12. OK, this is my input label. Now, let me check. OK, the input label is a graphic control. We can have nothing in front of the label. So this is the input label. The input label, how do you implement it? You say, well, same thing. WM-char, wait. Label doesn't get Windows messages. Sorry. There's no way. It's not a Windows. It's not a handle. There's no way you can get a WM-char to a label. But if you can see, I can actually, hopefully, type into my label. So how would you do it? Any idea? Send yourself for a message. Well, maybe that's not how I did it. Sorry, you're creating a, no, it's a label. It's a label, it's a graphic control. It's not, doesn't have a handle. No, sorry, there's no handle for that component. That's a clue. You are created? I create an edit that I put on top, almost. I created an edit that you input in the edit. How comes you cannot see it, the edit box? Visible equals false. If the edit is invisible, you cannot input in it. Can you set the height and the width to 0? That's it. So, well, actually the code is there. Wow. Yeah, so that's the code. Creates an edit. The parent is the form. 0 height, 0 width, but must be visible, otherwise you won't get the input. It's actually, there is quite some code because you get the unchange. And when the edit changes, you update the caption and invalidate, well, the entire form for whatever reason. And then you have to draw the focus rectangle around the label text. Otherwise, it doesn't look like it's got the input focus. So it's a fake input focus. The input focus goes only to components with handles. But we can use the draw focus rect API and have, well, actually the tcanvas method, and have our fake input focus. So it looks like, because input focus is in the 0 site edit, which you won't see, of course. So that's the idea. And then, when the component loses the focus, I repaint everything, what probably was needed. And when I press button down, what I do, I set the focus to the 0 size, visible but too small to be visible edit. And so the edit gets the input, I copy one to the other, and everything else. So by clicking on the label, you set the focus to the 0 size. And also the other thing that the edit should not have the tab stop. Otherwise, you're tabbing around, you go to the invisible edit, so the tab disappears. Your focus disappears. While it's actually, so it has to be disabled, but then you can force the focus to go to it. So that's it. Well, this is actually a standard way when you have a component which want to use another component for doing something. In this case, kind of unusual, but a kind of a general technique. Creating, of course, it's created with the owner, so you don't have to care about freeing it. It's freed by the form when it goes away. So, yeah, that's the goal. We don't even have to do the WM-char because the edit does it for us. Just you handle on change, and that's done. So this is the idea. You can be a little more creative with the user interface, not have all of those boring edit boxes. You can have labels, buttons, and things. Oh, sure, type in the button. You'll see that will work. That's for the creative programmer. Now, the next component is for the lazy programmer, actually the lazy user more than the lazy programmer. And it's another button. Sure? To protect against a memory leak. It's not really protected. It creates the edit and doesn't really care. I mean, why I'm creating with the owner? Well, you want the components to play nicely in the IDE and yeah, I mean, the form is going to get rid of it sooner or later. It's probably not at the right time because if not, I mean, destroy the label, the edit remains there, but who cares? But yeah, we do care a little. I mean, not just to create and leave it around. Yeah, and so if well, of course, I have to go to the form to get my component here. Oh, now there are two of them. Let's pick one. I have no clue what's the difference. Okay, so, nicely aligned button. You know, these alignments are cool. This works. Happy to. Okay, so I have this button, and this button says, I don't know. Let's go for show message. Is that a good idea? Wow, yeah. Okay, oops. Of course, I missed that. Okay, so let's run this program and see what happens. Now, the thing is that, I mean, you spend all day with your forms clicking and clicking and clicking. I mean, you're risking very hard after a while. So, if you want to be kind to your users, without having all of those buttons you have to click, you can have an automatic button. You just have to move the mouse over it, and it clicks. So you don't have to change the code. I mean, on click event, that's fine. But the button clicks itself. So when you move the mouse over it, which is somewhere, auto button. So this is a button, handles the mouse move, and when it gets a mouse move, well, clicks. I mean, well, actually fires the on-click event, doesn't really send the mouse messages to itself. I mean, just if there is an event handler, it fires the event handler. Those two lines, if you have never written a component, are the two typical lines you write to fire an event from within a component. If the event handler is assigned, if it's not nil, on-click self sender is the object firing the event. So self from within the component. Oh, I see. This is complex code. Not really sure. Well, yeah, this is supposed to click after you move over it. When it's done 5 movements after 10 seconds, it's, yeah, some sort of, I'm not sure I'm going to try it out because I haven't used it in a lot of time. Oh, and there's the mouse capture. That's cute. That's cute, actually. Mouse capture is a very nice technique. Mouse capture means all of the mouse messages goes to a specific handle, even if the mouse is moving in the totally different place. So user moves on there, does a mouse capture, the user moves away, clicks somewhere else. Well, the click goes to the button. So that's actually quite good. Can be confusing, but it is quite cute. Yeah, set capture means all of the following mouse messages go to one specific control, and it's used for dragging, for those sort of useful things. So it has set the capture, has a timer, counts the number of hits, and it's some confusing code. And again, I don't even remember exactly what it does, so I'll rather go ahead to another example. Well, the complex way of doing the automatic click, parameterized and everything. Okay, there's actually another one which, well, I forgot to put in my list, but I'll show you anyway, which is the automatic font. Again, suppose that your users have this application. Let's put a few edit boxes, the standard ones. Shift, click, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, should be. So suppose you have data entry and the user is there all day, data there. That's very boring. So to keep things a little more I'm using, you can put an automatic font component in the form. Let's see, let's make this faster, otherwise it takes too much time. But of course in the real world you'll keep, change the font. Oh, it works at design time. Cool. What's this thing doing here? Well, so I don't even have to run the application. Just trick it to the data entry with. If you wait, you'll get to a better font, you know. And of course, well, 5 seconds is a little too. Let's go for 10 seconds. It's kind of slow. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Anyway, let's look at the code, which is nothing special. I mean, when you want something to happen by itself, the simplest way is just to put a timer in it. Create the timer, destroy the timer. Don't let the form own it because you might get in trouble, which is what I'm doing. Which, okay, I noticed that. Yeah. I know there was this kind of odd block going on at design time. No, you don't want the form to be the owner. You want yourself to be the owner. But anyway, that's the code. Has got an interval property enabled and on timer event handler. So you say create this timer when you fire, when your time is elapsed. Just call this on timer method, which is a local method of the component hosting using the timer. And you know, it does things like this, grabs a random screen font, has a property with a list of the fonts installed in Windows, very easy to use. You pick a random screen font from screen font count. And then there's some more code here. I'll show that in action before we go to the actual code, which means, oh, there's this property, all alike. Or you can say false. Don't want them to be all alike. Yeah. Is it working? Fixed size. Yeah, let's say false as well. Okay. There's actually something wrong. We can fix the code. Yeah, but it's changing the parent font. Oh yeah, I think the idea was to have different controls all having different fonts. That was cool. No, it changed the size, but there's something wrong. Let's look at the source code. So, if not fixed size, then owner form size random. Okay, but that's the form size. If not all alike, then grab a font, assign the owner font for every component. Font name is owner component. Send a message. Font handle. Sends a WM set font Windows message to change the font of the specific Win control. But I bet something is wrong with this code. Yeah, and that's kind of hard to debug. This is Windows send message font. So it looks like, because I'm sending, no, actually no, I'm sending to, owner components I handle. So I'm sending to this specific control. And I change the font, yes? Yeah, I think this should make the trip because this doesn't go through the VCL. So yeah, it might actually get into my way. Let's try that out. Hop. Hop. Yeah, this will probably do the trick. 7 apparent font as well. Not all of them. Sorry? Oh yeah, I know. Shouldn't be a big issue. It's yeah, I don't know. It used to work, but that was some time ago. Anyway, I mean, you can still have a single font. That's actually cool enough. Yeah, the WM set font is actually quite nice. Well, as you do things that the VCL doesn't really allow you to do. Although it's something you certainly do not need for a real program. But anyway, okay. So we have the automatic font, the input button, and I think it's about time that we bring along one of the favorite programs ever developed on Windows. which is something I've not written, but it's way, way cool. And let's have plenty of shit, yeah. Oh, ooh, only too many. And ships, of course, stay on windows and bump around, boing, and have the life. I mean, is there a window stuck somewhere? Contagion. No, well, they're actually working somehow on the border. Yeah, well, they do all sorts of things, including the nasty one. They're not politically correct ships. They piss around your desktop, I mean, on your folders, and yeah, it's bad. But they're cute. They're really cute. No, the only problem is, oh, what's wrong here? Too many windows, including these wrong ones, which I actually try to get rid of. Oh, here it goes. This is it. Oh, you have more. Anyway, I can actually kill a few of the sheep. That way too many. Double click, remove. Double click, remove. Of course, they hit each other. I mean, this is it's 300K. I mean, it's a marvelous piece of code, including the graphics. And there's lots of graphics. Aliens raping the sheep, you know, sheep getting on fire and landing in the bathtub to get, I mean, all sorts of things. The only trouble is that if you use Delphi, full screen, I mean, sheep don't know where to go. They only can stay down there. So it's better to go for the classic undock layout, because this way the sheep can stay all around the various forms. I mean, it's not a layout I really like much more anymore, but it's actually helpful for the sheep, because if you bring a sheep and move it up here, hey, where are you going? Oh, this is climbing up the forms. You should actually stop on the, I guess only if it's got the focus. It was too slow. Okay, anyway, can have a lot. I mean, just keep one running along your desk. I mean, I don't know, to avoid getting bored. Okay, so we've got plenty of shit. Actually, I have to kill a few because, I mean, there's too many things running. And I guess Contagion is still running as well. Yeah. Oh, that was an upset ship. Anyway, so these are the sheep. Now, that's not really the only program I have to show you. There are some other nice ones. For example, when it's Christmas, you might want to have your desktop with this setting. It's actually cute. I mean, this is just scratching the. I mean, there are things around just astonishing. There are plugins in that replace all of the Windows borders with custom designs, like having, for example, the snow on the windows. I mean, there are some astonishing. No wonder 10 megs download. I mean, that's huge program, which is totally useless. Man, all your forms become so big that you can stick two forms in a large screen, and because you can have 200 pixels borders all around your form. The only thing with this thing is that there's no way to get rid of them but to use brute force. Okay, and it doesn't repaint until we refresh the screen, but it will repaint sooner or later. Okay, so that was it. Now, while trying to follow this lead, I've actually written a nice program, which is Bold. Okay, save change now. Yes. Cool. Sorry. Let's try to the open again. Now that the close, oh, save change, no. Close all. Let's try to close all. No. I don't think that's the nothing fault. It's some other code I've written which is more troublesome. Okay, well. The thing is, I was supposed to save it. Oops. Sort of. Okay. This was not meant to happen. Is it actually gone? Oh, here it goes. I mean, not because I really want, I mean, they really have to, oops, mouse is doing strange things. Not because I really have to defend Dexter and its reputation, but I have probably 8 wizards plugged in, which add menu items, change the caption, do odd things with registry, and components with timers, and quite a few things which create a mess in the IDE. So it's probably not the IDE fault. I mean, it's pretty sure that's my code. But, anyway, so what I wanted to show you was another program, which I can actually show it at runtime while we reload, because I should have compiled it. Where is it? Ball. Yes. Here it goes. Oh, that's it. It's a ball. Just wherever you move the mouse, it finds it. And the thing is that when it's under the mouse, you cannot click on the window behind it because so you have to be very fast. Move the mouse, click. Hop, hop, got it. And the same for the right click. I mean, if you are too slow, gets into your way, you cannot right click anymore. And again, I don't think there's a way to close it. No, wait. Maybe if it has the focus, yeah, Alt F4 does close it. That's cool. So let me open the source code, because this is a complete Delphi program. It has a form. I mean, looks like a standard application. It's not, but it looks like. It's got a timer and what else? Some code. Form create. Most of the things happen here. Creates an elliptical region and applies it. So the windows become an elliptical region, circle. And then, when there's the timer, it looks for the cursor and moves towards the, not too fast. I mean, you can fine tune with these numbers. You can actually fine tune how fast it gets to your, and then change the color at random. Is that all? Oh yeah, there's another thing. Whenever all of the hit messages, I mean, the entire surface of the component is the caption. That's what it says. Everything there is a caption. There's nothing but a caption, and you can accomplish it with handling the hit test window. Actually, it's the actual window message. Yes, WM hit test allows you to determine where on your form is the border, is the caption, and all the other portions of the form. How are we doing? Oh, that's late. Okay, so that's the ball. Now let's go ahead and get to, where am I? Oh, measles. Yeah, let's go on. So you want to create nice programs, but at times you want to create nasty ones. And one of the nasty ones is you might get a virus. It happens. I mean, you go on the web, you do things, you get a virus. Now you can get a virus without getting to the web, because you can have the, how's the name? Let's see. Is it measles? Is it virus? Is it fun something? Come on. Okay, open the source code. We can figure out the component name. Of course, not here. Fun side, components. Let's open the file itself. Where is it? Here it goes. Yep, that's it. It's screen virus. Oh, that's what's the name. So let's get here. And let's say screen virus. Here it goes. Now, again, same problem. That's a bug in my code. It's a interval. I'm not sure if it works at design time. Probably not. I guess you have to run the program. If I remember, you have to run the program. The program has nothing, but hasn't got the nothing component. This is nothing by itself. And, oh, I guess you have, oh no, you have to turn it on. You have to write code for this program. You have to write code. Screen virus1 dot start infection. That's it. Sorry? No, there's no stop. And here it goes. So, and you can even minimize, it doesn't really care. I mean, you can do whatever. I mean, it keeps putting this stuff on your screen all over the places. And yeah, I guess that if you stop the program, it will actually stop the infection. And the code is not very complex. I mean, it's just a timer base which on timer gets the desktop window, grabs the canvas for the desktop windows, and at that point you can paint all over the screen. You're not constrained to painting in your own windows. You can paint all over the screen as you prefer. Now, as this, I mean, of course, you run the program. No, you don't run programs. I mean, programs you receive from the web, you run those. No, but you browse the web. So if you browse the web, you might be in for a surprise because I have another version of the program which I've compiled into an ActiveX control. I'm not sure which one is it, because one works and one doesn't. Let me check that out. X-Measles, which is actually misspelled anyway. Watch out. Or, well, Windows is smart enough, then you have to click to allow this one. I mean, in the old days, it would just run. And you get it. Measles. And of course, even if you minimize it, or actually, I don't know, there some occasion you could actually even close the page and we'll keep getting all of these things around. And it's just an ActiveX which uses a component that does start infection on startup. So that's a very simple ActiveX compiled with Delphi, which is a good reason not to use ActiveX control. Something we now know, but I did it when ActiveX were the big thing you were to use. So it was quite some time ago. And, well, yeah, it seems it stopped by closing it, so you're not doing too bad. Now, okay, so this, and in the past I used to show all of the details of the ActiveX component construction. I'll spare those. Okay, so let's get to a couple of nice applications for your users. I'll go for one, then go back to a component, and then go back to another application. One is, oh, this is my favorite. I should have started with another, but that's too nice. That's cool. That's cool stuff. Okay, I have a form and a progress bar. You do things, well, progress bar goes to the end. Reset it, stop, goes to the end. You're done. Reset it, stop. And, well, there are times that you really want to say, hey, we are really doing great. I mean, we are doing better than expected. And you want your form to look like this. And big. Oh, this doesn't work. That's nice. Yeah. So let's look at the source code. That's interesting source code. I mean, where was that? Super progress bar. That's not a component. It's just some code. Okay. Oops. Okay, so there's a form. And there are a couple of things to notice. First is that there is a fake label. There is a fake caption. So this is actually just a label with a blue background and an X button here with a close method behind it. It's on click. So you pretend there is, and actually this looked like a proper label sometime, I mean, in Win 2000. The XP doesn't really look right. You have to make it the XP look and feel. So what happens, of course, normal and reset are obvious. What happens when I press large? When I press large, I slowly increase the size of the progress bar. And what I do is I create a region which sort of cuts out. So a region is done like this, goes up, down, up. And it's actually the shape you see. So you can create regions any shape you like. It's very open, very flexible. Round regions, elliptical regions, rectangular regions, points all connected. I'll show you an example afterward. And so you can have windows any shape you like. Of course, you might have problems with the toolbars and caption and things like that, but you have the caption, and now, you know, this is a cool program. How do I make the caption work like a caption? I handle the hit test, WN hit test. If we are over the label, I return, hey, Windows, that's the caption. Of course it's not, but I pretend that's the caption, and Windows trusts me. You know, this stupid Windows. It trusts me, so it's, actually I can drag around, I can do everything, right click, and I don't have to write any of that code, because, that's a caption. And that's very handy. I mean, you can do it with every region, borders, I mean, scroll bars, I mean, a bunch of things you can fake with the hit test. Very cool when you want to write strange code. Okay, so that was it. Now, there's another approach to using regions. And I'm really running late, so I have to try to rush through this. Okay, so this is an input, the input form. Okay, and you input, you know, what do you do with an input form? Okay, that's it, that's a checkbox, but, oh, what's here? Danger? Oh, you know, what can that be? I mean, ooh. It was dangerous. Well, this is not really a wanted effect, because the window cannot be larger than the screen. This is a non-limitation window size. You cannot create a window larger than the screen. So when I make it bigger and bigger, it kind of goes off that size. I mean, anyway. But here's the window. So it's a perfect, it's working. I mean, you can keep, okay, let me finish typing in it. Everything works. It's kind of oddly shaped, but it's a regular window. Okay, you can even close it and it works. Again, it's more or less the same code with the regions. In this case, I take two regions and I add them together, combine them together. If they don't have to be contiguous, it can be kind of two regions anywhere on the screen, and you grab them together. So in code, this is something like this. I just grab the points. Okay, it's not rectangles actually. And I have 9, actually doing the contiguous one. So there's kind of a single 0 pixel lines up there. So I have all of the points around, and I create a polygon region, which means anything. You can really do anything with a polygon region. And then you can set window handle means, okay, this handle is going to, and you can click in it. I mean, a region is really, the window is only there. It's not that, it's not a user interface thing. It's really a functionality thing. If you click in that hole, you're clicking on the windows there, which is the one behind. So it's really that way, which is, will be demonstrated later. Okay, let me see. Done that. Okay, let's go to the most useful component I've ever written for the fun side, which is the automatic database application creation code. So let's create another program. And I'm pretty sure I have the C++ examples sitting somewhere. Of course, you can write all of this code in C++. That's all VCL code, so it's not actually a big difference. But anyway, okay, let's make this smaller. Let's grab data set source. What's a data set source? It's a combination of a data set and the data source. So instead of placing 2 components on the screen, you place 1. That's it. And it has active, auto-edit, database name, table name. So it's kind of mixed in of properties of a data set in the data source. And then you can hook, you can take a DB edit, place here, and you can you can pick up the data source. Oh, it's there. Ah, I haven't assigned it. What's up? Oh, I can get the field. Okay. Well, great. That was a bad choice. Common name. That's better. I guess I have to open this guy. Okay, clown. Triggerfish. Now, let's do it the opposite way. Let's put the edit there. Let's put the dataset source. Let's open it. Let's hook this up. Ah, come on. Wow. I don't know, it seems to sort of work. But I mean, it's a lot of work. So you can actually, if you want to be smart and, I mean, take less time in writing your code, you can actually use a smart version of the data of the DB edit, which I don't remember the name. Fun DB edit. That's a good name for it. Okay, here it goes. So the fun DB edit works this way. It's a DB edit, so it has to hook up to a data source. So it looks around to find one. Then it has to hook to a field. So it picks a field. So the idea is you take a bunch of those. Oh, the mouse. You take a bunch of those. Shift, click. Make this bigger. And if you are very lucky, you get all different fields. If not, you can keep on going and going, and then you delete the duplicated ones. I mean, if you have to, okay, let's get rid of it. I mean, we don't need it twice. That's duplicated. Let's, of course, we go keep this here. Yeah, we don't want 2 memos. We don't want to do this. But, well, we've done a pretty good job of picking. And, of course, you can fine-tune it. And, well, if you really have to, you can actually pick something there. Well, it was already there. He did a better job than I. Anyway, so that's the idea. Now, the trick is that this is not trivial code at all. I mean, it's probably one of the most complex things I'm going to show you. Because there is a slight problem with the VCL. VCL's got a notification component. You might have used, oh, well, you should have used if you have written component for yourself. Notification component, where's that gone? Just a second. Found DBA. Yeah. Okay, notification is a method that every T component has. It's automatically called. You call for notification, and the notification is sent to all of the siblings, all of the other components within the same form. And it's usually used for unhooking a component in case this is destroyed. So destroy a component, I have a pointer to him, to the component, get the notification, oh, that's been destroyed. Okay, let's set our pointer to nil. So if we have written the code properly, if assigned use it, then we don't have any GP fault. Okay? Now, actually, if you look at notification and read the documentation, it says there are 2 possible options: OP remove, OP insert. So you have 2 different notifications: destruction and insertion. So cool. I want to be notified when another component is added because I want to be able to. Now, how comes this doesn't really use notification? Because the other one uses notification. I see. This is the opposite code. Anyway, there should be a notification method somewhere. It's not there. It's in here. Here it goes. Notification. So maybe that a component is there. It should always be there. It's not me. I think there's some reintroduction code going on. It's insert, and it is a data-aware control. Okay, it's a data-aware control. How do we know? There is some RTTI code if there is a property called data source. That's the only way we can know it's a data-aware control. There's no interface, property, or technique. But most of the cases we're going to get it because all of the components use data source as the property to refer to a data source. So that's, we are just checking the name by the property by name. And actually here is the code, which is, if it opens up, it would be nice. No, okay. Well, you'll find it. I mean, it just uses the is published property, blah, blah, blah. And from the type, from the RTTI support. Now, it's a component. It's a data-aware component. Let's hook it. Wait. You can't do it. When do you get the destruction? Free, destroy, notification, everything destroyed. When do you get the create notification? Create, the component does inherited create, you get the notification. Has your component been created? Nah. Yeah, the T component's been created, but the T control, the specific one, I mean, every data-aware controller has an internal object, which is the link to the data set. Nothing. There's nothing there. You cannot use it. You cannot use it at all. All you can use are the T component properties, tag name, cool. I mean, what do you do with those? So what you can do is use it in some time. So what I do, I add the component to a list, because there might be many of them. Then I start up a timer. When the timer goes by, say, oh, is there anything in the list? Cool, let's hook those components in. That's the only way. If you want to use insert to automate connection of components, you have to do a delay-based approach. You can also send yourself a post message. That should be enough, because it's enough delay. So you can send post to yourself a WM user message. That should be okay. But this uses the timer-based approach. So when the timer goes by, I, again, check if it is data-aware, if it has a field connected, and all of this other stuff. So I find it interesting to be able to, I mean, automate some of the startup operations, but you have to know about this trick. Delay the code you write, because otherwise it won't work. Okay. So what's up now? Beside the sheets. Okay, I've done that. Okay, we can go with a couple of fun things in the Delphi IDE. I think it's about time we look at this version of Delphi. Okay. I don't know if you've noticed the version number. I'm running on a pre-alpha. Delphi 2010, and it's got an interesting welcome page. Where's that view welcome page? Is it down here? Okay. What's new in Borland Developer Studio? It's small. You can't really change the size. That's a little bit odd. I can read it for you. Borland Developer Studio is the best IDE in the world. Period. That's good. What's new in Delphi Developer Studio 2010? Borland Developer Studio provides key new features for developing Delphi, Delphi for .NET, Ruby, Python, 64-bit, 128-bit, Linux, Windows, Vista, Avalon applications, and anything else you'd like, but Visual Basic. And you can actually try it out with this. Wasn't there a program open? Yeah, there is one. This is getting into my way. Move around. Oh, it's maximized. That's why. So we have this program, and you know, that's what we want to do. This is a very cool application. I mean, it's not a boring 32-bit app. So we can actually get here and say, and see if there's something which can, oh, sure, we can compile to 64-bit. That would be nice. A 64-bit compiler. The first time ever someone's showing the 64-bit compiler. Oh. Sorry. Need to buy a new computer that I can demo with. Yeah, it's so sad. It would have been nice to see if it worked, but no, I don't have 64-bit box. OK, so we can actually look to something else. Yeah, there's actually another feature which is not working. Oh, too bad. This is here. Wow, no. I have to reinstall the package because the package crashed the IDE earlier, so it was smart enough to. Oh, the aliens! Let's go. That's the aliens raping the sheep. Yeah, that's very hard. I mean, you really usually have to wait a lot of time before you can get the aliens. I actually want to kill a few more sheep. That too. OK, so where was I? Here. Let's build this and cross our fingers that it doesn't crash on us. Because it adds, I mean, items to the window, to the menu, and does a few things. I'm not sure why some of that stuff works and some. No, I don't want this. OK. You can actually open this one as well. Let's see if it works. OK, so this program has two features. One of them is sadly not working, and I'm very sorry about that because it's a marvelous feature. It's called, I'll describe it anyway. It's called alpha menu. The code is almost there, but they changed one of the classes of the toolbars, and I haven't been able to find the way to hack into it. Oh, yeah, sure. Oh, I only had a couple of hours, so but what originally did, and the version you can download works great in Delphi 6 and Delphi 7, so you can try it out. It takes all of the menu, dismantles it, and arranges in a proper way so you can find the menu items. So where would you look for the about menu item? About under A. Where do you look for build all? B. Component packages, C. So it gets rid of this file, edit, nonsense stuff, and says A, B, C, D, E, F. But again, I'm really sorry. If I try, just bumps on me, and yeah. But there's another feature which was actually suggested this morning while we were having breakfast, and I grabbed it. So, you know, when you like to have your code properly written with the proper case. For example, show message or at the uppercase S and uppercase M, so you have what's called the camel case. But at times, you might find code that's not properly spelled. Maybe someone's written show message like this, and yeah, what's that? Yeah, it looks like show message, but it's not OK. Now, if I had time, I would have written a Delphi plugin, right-click, camel case. Now, I didn't have time, so I did something similar but not identical, which is you have to copy this to the clipboard, Control-C, then you turn it in camel case, and then you can paste it back in the right place. Now, when I was discussing this with a person, and he was telling me, oh, but you have a dictionary of words to know where to split it. No? What the heck? I mean, I don't need it. Every other letter gets uppercase. So that's good enough to make it totally unreadable. It's not camel case. Come on. You can actually grab a large piece of code and tools. And camel case all of it. Including the strings and the output messages to the user, of course. Yeah, OK. Well, this code doesn't work. It used to work, but it doesn't work anymore. You cannot change the caption, just say, well, the nice thing to know, when you are inside the IDE, you're writing a package, application is Delphi. Application main form is what's called app builder, the main form. So you can actually, I mean, this code is OK, it's correct, but you change it, it changes back. So to get that, you have to hack the registry. And you can provide a different description for every version, personality of Delphi, so you can have multiple of them. But that's the registry setting. Now, what this, that's hard to read. Maybe I can actually get back, okay. Oh, this is the alpha menu, which doesn't work. So what this component does, when you register it, it creates a wizard the hacker way. There is an official way to plug into the menu. This doesn't use it. It simply says, okay, let's create a new menu item with all of the stuff, and then say application, main form, find component. I want the tools menu, drop down, and I want to add the alpha menu item. So this gets here. This is similar. This is little hack. The D64 menu item, I want it in the right place, and I'm not sure why. To have it in the 8th place, you have to insert it as the 16th position. I mean, so it'll be on me, but it works. We have it here, right here, where we want it to be under compile. With Control-Shift-6, which is very unusual. Well, 64. I mean, I thought that would be a nice way to invoke a 64-bit compiler. Well, and the rest is the alpha menu, which doesn't work. And then there's this destruction code. Maybe it's not really correct, so that the ID doesn't really like it that much. But if you don't put it, you get twice the menu items, and things get even more confused. So yeah, that's all I have as far as IDX, and it's not a lot, but it should be nice anyway. Now, so all I've left is, oh no, actually there's another thing which I want to show. This is serious stuff. It's really serious stuff. I hope it's installed. I've written a tool which is like an object inspector. You can use it's called debug, bug. Maybe it's not installed. Let me check for it for a second. It's somewhere else altogether. Code, no, it's last year code. Where's, oh, I hope I can find it. Oh, here it goes. That's the Cantù. This is a package. A few nice things. Contains. Actually, it does contain the debugger. Sorry? Yeah, but that's a plugin component I've added yesterday. Oh, because it's called, yeah, okay. Yes, I couldn't figure out the name. So let's get back. This mouse is killing me. Okay, let's get back here and see if I can say, here it goes. Now, by default, this component is set up so it is used only at runtime for your applications. And if not designing in component state, blah, blah, blah. Commented that line. So this is sort of an object inspector. Thanks. Shows the list of the properties. Allows you to change the properties at runtime, the published properties of the application. Has an extra item because there is a list of windows, and then for each window, a list of components. Now, if you use it at design time, yeah, this is Delphi. These are all of the windows. Now you wonder, it takes some time to boot. Yeah, come on. I mean, no, these are all windows. So let's go for the good one, which is, where is that? That's good. Should be this one. Okay, this is TIA Builder. And got application events, how to hide, has got the menu items, and you know, quite a few menu item sections, toolbar. And I mean, if you start looking at, and you can change things. I mean, you can go to, I don't know, file menu, and see there's a caption and file, and let's see, yeah, it works. Sure, why not? My preferred fix to the idea is this one. Oh, I have to find, well, maybe if I select this, it will, no. I have to find TIA Builder again. And I should sort them because it's, Right? That was, no, it was slightly, no, not this one. It was not far from the beginning. They're actually sorted by name. So a builder should be at the end of A. How many A? Okay, here it goes. A builder. This should be the main window, and so we can do the best thing we could to improve Delphi, which is go here. Sorry, got it wrong. Form. What is that? Form style. Stay on top. No, there is no way all of these other windows like Explorer will get in front of Delphi. And it works. I mean, well, I can minimize it. Yeah. Okay. Sorry? So we are close to the end, isn't it? Yeah. So it's about time we stop this damn thing here.